Hey, welcome to Knitting Whatever. I'm Siboney. I'm an all-around crafty bitch. I knit, I tuft rugs, and I spend a lot of my time making textile artwork. I studied art and psychology in college. I've been knitting since I was about 7 or 8 years old. I guess yarn and textile has always really called to me as a medium ever since I was very young. And I saw tufting on TikTok in like 2019 and immediately bought a gun and built a giant frame and have been tufting rugs ever since. By day, I'm a community manager, so I spend all of my time on social media. So by 6 p.m., I literally want nothing to do with it, so I can't promise that I'll be consistent or post at all. But my favorite type of YouTube video is what I knit in a year, and so I really look forward to this time every year and really wanted to be a part of that this year. So welcome to my channel. So I'm gonna try to keep this quick, we're gonna keep going. So I'm gonna start with January, and in January I started with the So What Shruggie by Vexnot Studios. So it's this cute little bolero, and it has these like bell sleeves. It's super cute. I wore it to the Brat concert, and I really love Vexnot Studio patterns. Hollis designs things really well, and I love the way that she explains every step. She's actually one of the first designers whose pattern I followed when I started following patterns a couple years ago. I sort of spent a ton of years just freehanding things and never really following patterns, and so this was one of the first. The Scape sweater was one of the first patterns that I followed a couple years ago. So yeah. So then I moved into sort of my beanie era for the year. I made like 6 or 7 beanies. This was sparked by my fiance's grandmother, who unfortunately passed away earlier this year, and so I knit this beanie for her before she passed. And then that sort of set me on a beanie spree, and so I made a couple beanies. So this is what I have left from what I've sold, but like a nice turmeric, this nice like neutral, and then this like fun brat green. So that was the beanie era. There's also like an orange one and a blue one, and those I sold at a market earlier this year. The yarn I used was like scrap yarns and leftovers from projects over the years that I just had in my stash. And then we move into February, and so February was like my poncho era. So my grandma asked me to make her a blue poncho, and so I found this Drops design poncho. It had like a big crochet flower on the front, and I just omitted that. But I first created the blue one for my grandma, which she has, so I can't show that to you. But then I made a couple more, so those I can show you. So I then made this fun, funky pink number. And I wore this to a gallery opening, and I think that's the only time I've worn it. And then I went really crazy and I made this brown number. And I used like so many different yarns, very wacky. Haven't worn it. And then I made this red number, which I really love. It's really nice. I love the color combinations. I think these are just really fun. They're really easy to throw on. I never wear them though, so yeah. So in March, I just whipped up this quick eyelet crop top, and so this was just something that I knit as like a quick thing to do as I was heading into the summer months. I thought I really wanted to do a lot of summer knitting. I did end up doing a lot of summer knitting, but a lot of those projects were sort of failed summer knitting projects because they don't fit me. So anyway, this is the beginning of that. And yeah, it's just some thrifted yarn that I got at Remainders in Pasadena, the creative reuse store. I frequent that store often to find fun yarns. A lot of them are discontinued, which is cool. Obviously they rely on donations, so you never really know what you're gonna get, which is sort of the fun of it. Anyway, That's the eyelet top. It's just a 4-row repeat, super simple. Okay, I haven't been sharing numbers, but this is number 13. So this is the Summer Fling bag by Espace Tricot, Espace Tricot, I don't know. The yarn I thrifted at Remainders also. And then I think I hand dyed the neon portion of this with just some leftover neon dye that I had in my stash for a couple years. It was really quick to knit, super easy to read pattern. I would definitely knit this again, maybe in a different material. The piece that I dyed, or the yarn that I dyed, was bleached by the sun because I did leave the bag out in front of a window for an extended period of time, so that's on me. And then number 14 is the Sentinel sweater by Vexnot Studios. You'll hear me talk about Hollis a lot. I really admire Hollis a lot, and again, I just think she's a brilliant pattern writer. So this is the Sentinel sweater. She long. I was a part of the test knit for this, my first ever test knit, so that was really exciting. I was super pumped to be chosen for that. Again, I've been following Hollis for a couple years, and her designs are so fun and definitely out of my comfort zone. And so this was something that was a little more classic that I absolutely love. I picked a mohair silk and then paired it with Let Lopey wool. So it's definitely not the most comfortable fabric I've ever knit up. I actually don't wear it for that reason. And so I will be knitting this pattern again in a different material so that I get some more wear out of it, because it's just beautiful. It's a 2x2 rib all around, and it has this really awesome shoulder construction. I'm forgetting what it's called. And then some really beautiful decreases on the arm to sort of give it this like shaping. And yeah, because it's 2x2 rib, it knits up really quickly. I think I knit this up in about a week. And yeah, I just wish I had used a different yarn pairing for this, but lesson learned. And I should say that was April. So in May, I knit this, I don't have it with me because I sold them, but this pair of freehand shorts and a matching sweater in Noro Hanui silk in the color Dunedin. And this is knit this up on 5.5 millimeter needles. And so I got this yarn at the Little Knittery. I've been going there since I was like 7 or 8, again, since I've been knitting. My dad used to take me when I was a kid, so I love that shop. I eyed this yarn for a really long time. I saw it there a couple times when I visited and didn't pull the trigger, and then I finally did. I ordered more of this yarn online, and they ended up being from the same lot, which was really cool. So I got 6 or 7 skeins of the same lot, which was really awesome. Knit this freehand set up. This actually sold at a market recently, which was really cool. And yeah, that's really all there is to say about this one. It's just like a simple, really simple freehand raglan sweater and matching shorts. Now we are on number 17, and so this one was definitely an experimental piece. I wanted to see if I could knit a raglan collared button-up t-shirt. It's something that my fiance had drawn out for me and was like, do this, and so I took that challenge and ultimately made this. It's made out of cotton, 100% cotton yarn in 2 colors. I'm forgetting the yarn. It's pretty heavy, like it's not the most comfortable shirt. And I would definitely pick different buttons. They're not very pretty, but I'm really happy with how it turned out. Like it sort of was in my brain and then was on the needles, and then I finished it, and here we are with a finished object. So that was cool. And then I got really into like this matching set thing. Like I was so obsessed with this idea of like matching shorts with like sweaters or like a top or like whatever. So that's what I did next again. So this is a freehand shirt and short set. Made out of Noro Kakigori in the color Shimonoseki. And so it's this beautiful variegated brown. So again, sort of a failed project that doesn't fit, but I really love these like little aglets. I got like a set on Amazon, and there's nothing more satisfying than like finishing a project and like putting these aglets on. But that's the short set, so super nice. It's like a cotton, silk, viscose, and something else blend, I think. And then here's the matching top. So just like a cute little crop. It's definitely like a medium. I'm more of an extra large, so that doesn't fit. And you'll definitely find that that's like a pattern in my knitting. Like I don't knit gauge swatches. I'm starting to. It's the responsible thing to do, but I don't always do it. So anyway, moving on to number 20 is, again, the Noro Hanui Silk in the color Dunedin. So really putting those 7 skeins to use. And it's this dress with a little slit at the bottom. So I'll put a picture in because you're not gonna see it all. But this knit up really quickly. I used 6.5 millimeter needles, free-handed this again, just sort of used the same tank top pattern that I used for the last top, and just sort of did the math in a different gauge to create the neck. And then I just made like a really long t-shirt. Didn't really do any waist shaping. It's literally like a tube, and it fits really nicely. So this I did gauge swatch, and it fits. Power of a gauge swatch. Move into June and July, where I knit nothing. Some shit went down in life and with my cat. My cat got really sick. Obviously that was like the center of my world. I don't know if he'll make an appearance, but I have a diabetic cat named Tiny. But he got very sick, and so that took up a lot of time in June and July and a lot of money. So didn't knit anything. But then moving into August, again on the matching set train, this is the Petite knit Audrey top. I think that's the back. This is the front. Yep. It's this like cute little camisole. This is Noro Sonata in the color Sky. It's this really beautiful like variegated blue on 4 millimeter needles. I think that's what the pattern called for. And then this I did make in my size, and I tried to make matching shorts again in my size and failed again. So here's a pair of matching shorts that don't fit me. And again with aglets. Oh no, there are no aglets on this one. I forgot. I think I just gave up because they didn't fit me. So yeah, the top is really nice. I wear this every now and then. Less so these days since it's cooler. But yeah, I mean, it's a petite knit pattern. There's not much to say. It's beautifully written, super easy to follow. Moving into September, did a couple projects in September. The first being this cardigan. It's this really fun colorway. It is Noro Tenon in the color 34, which is discontinued, paired with Elizabeth Levold Chunky AL in a crew. I think that's Chunky Alpaca. You'll also find a trend that I absolutely adore Noro yarns, especially the discontinued yarns. This one I actually found at La Knitterie Parisienne in the Valley. They're an amazing store. I absolutely love visiting that store. They have an amazing selection of like discontinued vintage yarns. So in this one, in the Tenon, I actually bought them out of all of the skeins that they had. I think they had like 7, and so I bought all of them. So I have a couple extras, and I'll make some more fun things with that eventually, but that's in my stash for now. And yeah, this was just a freehand cardigan. Next, I knit the Holger sweater by Petite Knit. We won't talk about it. This one was actually really special because I made it for a family friend who had her first child last year. And what's so special about it is that she and her partner commissioned me for a rug for the baby nursery. And so at this point they didn't know the gender and wanted to keep things really neutral. And so I saved a lot of that yarn and knew that I wanted to knit them something eventually, but just didn't know what. And so I came across this Holger sweater pattern and was like, that's perfect, because as I've shown, the rug is super colorful. It has a bunch of different color blocks. And so yeah, this pattern just really complemented the rug and in a way where I got to use all the different colors. So yeah, super special. And so I knit that up, in September, and yeah, I got to see the baby at Thanksgiving in it, which was really cute. I knitted a little big so that he would grow into it, and it was just like very adorable to see this tiny child in something that I knit. Baby clothes. I have a serious soft spot for baby clothes, so I will be knitting more. Again, didn't knit anything in October. Started a new job in October. So big month of transition and not a lot of knitting time. But that's okay, because there are months where that happens, so. Okay, so this next sweater, and we're very close to the end. We are in November now. This was my November project. And so this sweater hurts my feelings. I very rarely intentionally like knit things for myself. And this is one where I was like really excited for the finished project. And so anyway, I saw this sweater made by the House of CB. It's this like beautiful white cotton whatever sweater. And I saw it and was like, that would be beautiful knit. And so I drafted up a pattern, followed the pattern, didn't knit a gauge swatch, and it is like a size medium, which again does not fit me. So yeah, I don't remember the yarns, I didn't write it down, but it's a wool held with sandnes yarn, mohair silk. And I already bought the yarn to knit up another one in my actual size, so in a different color, because they don't have this yarn left at Wool House because I bought it for this sweater. But yeah, I don't know, I can't remember if I showed you, but here's the sweater. It has like a ribbed waist to sort of mimic the sweater made by House of CB. And then on the cuffs, it's like sort of a longer fitted cuff. Would look really nice on someone who wears a medium. Then December, so I knit a couple things in December. So first I picked up this project. I started it in May of 2023. It is the Monday sweater by Petite knit in a 2XL. The yoke is really the Monday sweater, and then I sort of freehanded the rest because I didn't feel like looking at the pattern a year later. But that ended up working out because I initially was making it for myself and then wanted to make it for my fiance because he really liked the color. So I just knit it longer, knit the arms longer, and did a different cuff. So it was a little bit more masculine. And yeah, it looks really nice on him. It's really pretty. I don't remember the yarn, but it is sandnes yarn, silk mohair, I think in poppy blue, held with a wool cotton blend, I think actually, in a slightly darker blue. So it does this really nice like marbling effect. And yeah, again, it's a Petite knit pattern. Solid. Okay, at this point, I haven't been counting. We are at number 27, which I actually can't talk about because it's a test knit that I did for a designer out in the UK. So who knows, if I post another video, perhaps you will hear about it. We are at the final project, and I haven't finished it yet, but there are 3 days left in the year, and I'm hoping that I will. So this is my take on the Juicy Luce iconic bra sweater vest. As you can see, there's a bra with this sort of underwire detail. It's really cool. I'm excited to finish that. And that brings us to the end of my video. Maybe stick around, maybe don't. I don't really know if I'm gonna be posting to YouTube. This was just like a fun thing I wanted to do. Maybe I will, who knows? Have a happy new year and have a happy year of knitting. Bye.